You're listening to the Heroes Power presented by BlizzPro.com. Your hosts, Balrog fan Zexorus and DJ Tyrant. Welcome everyone to the Heroes Power. This is episode number 98 here on April 4th, 2017. I am your host, DJ Tyrant. This is your Heroes of the Storm podcast brought to you by BlizzPro.com and partnered with Legion by Lenovo and Intel. Thank you guys so much for your support, as well as we have the rest of the crew here. So let's just talk about our week and how we've been since last week. A lot of big news has dropped. The timing of last week's episode was a little awkward because I unfortunately couldn't talk about everything I had seen. So we'll talk about this episode, though. Balrog fan, how have you been?
Oh, pretty good. Haven't been playing as many games, just a few. Kind of waiting for the new set in Hearthstone to drop. So I'm excited for 2.0, though. I'm going to see what I can pull out of my loot boxes.
Yeah, loot boxes are going to be interesting as we go forward. Zexorus, how about you, my friend, besides Cubs stuff?
That's all that's been going on here since Sunday. Sunday. We opened.
Basically the same thing.
Yeah. Only 24 hours apart. No, I've been messing around with the brawls and stuff like that. You and I played a brawl just a little bit ago, the Asmo Dunk Brawl, and that's absolutely silly.
It's very silly.
I think we should play that instead of doing like quick match
or whatever.
Or whatever. Yeah, we should play. We should play the Asmo Dunk Brawl because that was. If you get people at least 2 or 3 coordinating in the early game, you're gonna dominate. And it's just hilarious with how much damage you start doing with black globes and like I think I hit a keep down to half health from full with one globe on a black pool.
Yeah, because for those that are not aware, the brawl basically makes it so that the globe stacks are across your team and they're uncapped. So you can imagine how high the damage gets with that. It's a lot of fun. It's probably one of their more creative brawls, and I'm sure the back end stuff they had to do with making the globes universal between all the teammates was probably a good challenge for them, and I'm glad we're seeing a little bit more creative brawls going forward.
Yeah, absolutely. That was like it took a while, but it wasn't like all hammer map. Like it wasn't boring. It was actually legitimately fun. So I had a good time playing that tonight. Other than that, I'm waiting for my Sega Genesis controller to come in so I can get back on speedrunning Phantasy Star 4. Somehow I still have the 0% world record. Not quite sure how I still hold that at this point because the world record holder for any percent told me the other day, yeah, I'm going to try to take some stabs at 0%. And I was like, well, there goes that record because his any percent Zio time is faster than my 0% time. Like my time is like an hour and a minute, and his any percent time was like 55 minutes, and I'm like, crap. But should be here tomorrow. Looking forward to it. Let's kick it over to Carl. How are you, buddy?
How's Breath of the Wild?
I'm as done as I don't know. I'm not going to devote a whole much more time to it. I've had a lot of fun with it, and I have a second file that I'll mess around with occasionally, but I've enjoyed the game, but I'm kind of... I've actually been playing StarCraft 2. So I'm like 2/3 of the way through the Heart of the Swarm campaign, and then earlier today I actually broke into some online matches. Won my first one pretty easily, lost the second one, but, you know, that's one game more than I expected to win. So...
don't play Jimmy.
Don't play Jimmy? Oh yeah, no. I'm sure I'm like bronze 5. So
it's about where I should be, I think.
Oh, I haven't even played ladder in forever. I'm scared to play ladder. That's the most nerve-wracking, I think, online competitive game for me is StarCraft.
you can't blame your teammates.
I know you can't blame it. Yeah, you can't blame anybody.
You mess up your micro, your macro. It's your fault.
Pretty
You
much.
can always try to blame lag, but that doesn't really work that well.
No, it doesn't. But yeah, let's get into the news of the week. Just because 2.0 was announced, and I actually had the opportunity, a very, very lucky opportunity, to go down to Irvine and be able to play it firsthand before it got released on the PTR last week. It was a limited build compared to what's on the PTR right now, but we got to see that before it was announced and really get to check it out and dig into it and ask them questions about it. And it was a lot of fun. We got to play a lot of 5v5 matches on some cool new stuff, and got to see Cassia before she got released, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. But Heroes 2.0, they finally announced it. A lot of the stuff they've been hinting at from BlizzCon, the upgraded whatchamacallit, I lost my train of thought, progression system. So it's no longer capped at 40. Technically there is a cap, but they were saying it's large enough that they don't expect anyone to reach it in their lifetime, but we'll see. When you give players a challenge like that, they they find ways to
Next week on Reddit, we'll see a week after 2.0 drops, we'll see a thread on Reddit. Hey guys, I hit the level cap, now what? What do I get?
Isn't it like 6,000?
Yeah, it's
something
the level
insane
cap
like that.
is 6,000.
The big thing though,
although I'd be interested to know, like, those people that have every hero at 20, like, where are they going to be?
Very, very high.
how many heroes are there? 20 times 60?
Well, and it's not just 20, right? Because with the EXP flattening, they're going to be more like 35 or something. Or 30.
65 heroes.
55, that's right. I think level 20 equates to level 55 in this new system. If I remember correctly. I don't know. It's a lot of math involved, and someone else is figuring that out.
Yeah.
And it's not me. But
the calculator on Reddit.
Oh yeah, that's right. Someone did put that up. But yeah, I really like that the experience for leveling up heroes is a lot more. You get a lot more progress more quickly.
Yeah,
and it's not that insane grind. It's not really that bad, but it is bad between 9 to 10 in the current system. Thankfully, they are making that better. I think basically level 15 now is going to be the kind of master rank for a hero going forward. But the system also allows them to give more rewards more frequently to players, and that's going to be in the form of loot chests that are coming out in this as well. Lots of people have commented about this, and it's really interesting to see both sides of the argument here. Those who are really into this, and those who are
really entitled.
I just want to say before we go,
there's some people that are just overly entitled right now.
Yes, there are.
Oh yes, no, I agree with that.
You're getting
into loot chests.
Stuff.
Okay, P-Flame, what do you want to talk about?
Yeah, so we're getting tuned into loot chests. So I just wanted to say that I enjoy the level changes, just because like right now I don't play like Kael'thas or Illidan or Jaina and stuff, just because it's like I'm level 13 with them, and I'm really not gonna get 20 anytime soon. So it's much more worth my time to play all these other heroes to 8 and to 9 and get the gold there. Even though like I like Kael'thas, and he's in a reasonable spot in the meta. He's not like awful, and I like Jaina and Vala and all these things, and so this system kind of opens it up. It's like, yeah, you can still play those heroes, which is nice. But anyways, back to loot chests.
Yeah, loot chests, they're going to reward a lot of really cool new things, new items that have been added into the game, a lot more room for customability on heroes. Loot chests can actually reward heroes, mounts, skins, stim packs, and all these new item types, announcers, voice lines, banners, sprays, and emoji packs. So lots of cool stuff to collect. But
can I touch on sprays?
Sure. Yeah, go ahead. Sprays are
Okay,
a really interesting thing.
That's no, it's not. It's gonna be the most rage-inducing thing you've ever watched. Because, excuse me, for Overwatch players, if you've ever watched Salty Fish or somebody like that, there's an episode of his stream called the Teabagging, where people would spray, teabag, and then drop in and like drop a Reaper ult and get like a 5-man kill or something, and it became like on his videos, it became such a plague to him. Like they would see him, and people would see him in their game, and they would start trying to do this. So my fear is you're gonna see people take kind of suboptimal stuff to try to make a big play. Let's take, for example, ETC Crowd Surfer. You're going to see people start submitting clips of like ETC dropping a spray, crowd surfing over a wall, and like hitting like a 3-man mosh or something like that, where everybody on the other team dies. You're going to see people just do the most ridiculous stuff with these sprays, and it's just going to set your brain on fire.
They will.
That's my.
I don't know. I think there's always going to be people looking for the highlight plays, and honestly, it's not as tilty as it could be to be in that game. You know, having things like this, they're just like player generated content. Like, I want to play the game because I want to, you know, drop my spray and make this sick play, is like enticing to players, right? Because you're going to go on Reddit, you're going to see this montage of these drop a spray combo, get your flag planted down on their corpse. It's going to look sick. And you're going to be like, I hope I never get this guy in my games because he's going to die 6 times for every sick play he pulls off. But at the same time, it's cool to watch. So like, there's this trade-off.
Just to clarify really quickly, the banners only get planted on keeps, forts, capturing merc camps, or completing battleground objectives. They don't go on the corpse of your enemies, unfortunately.
They need to do, like, if you're level 50, then you get flag drops on kills.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would be kind of cool. I like that idea, actually. Blizzard.
So then you get a sick play under the keep, and you drop
you get a sick play,
then
you finish off the keep, and you get your
So my favorite thing of the new item types, though, is easily the announcer packs. Having Abathur announce your game is the best thing in the world, and anyone who picks the murky announcer is dumb, because you're not going to know what's going on. You're just going to hear
sound unit.
It's all in the tone, genius.
Does that mean
affliction of the?
Does that mean the core is under attack, or does that mean objective is up? I don't know.
I did see the announcers, and I got super hype about that because, like I said on that little special stream we did, when the embargo was lifted, it opens the door for like guest packs. For example, like, and I mentioned in that stream, like, for example, like Dota has a Rick and Morty announcer pack, which if we can get a Rick and Morty voice pack for Heroes, that'd be wonderful.
Oh, maybe if we can get a Rick and Morty voice pack for Heroes, maybe we can get McDonald's to bring back Mulan sauce.
Yeah, I would say like every other line should be some kind of comment about Szechuan
9
sauce.
seasons.
Do you think they'd work with South Park again? I wouldn't mind seeing like a Cartman pack or something.
Who, Blizzard?
Oh,
because they did the
WoW
right.
episode.
Yeah, it did. I would love to see that.
That would be cool.
Yeah, it would actually be kind of cool. But yeah, if they're willing to do character voice packs, there's literally nothing stopping them from having guest packs. Guest announcer packs. God, that took forever to say.
Yeah.
So
okay.
I missed it. Are Abathur and Murky the only ones announced thus far?
No, there's a lot.
Everybody has it. I think
not
everybody has an announcer pack.
Not quite yet, but a lot.
Most
I know
of the roster
Newbrack does.
Newbrack, Diablo. Someone has it listed, I'm sure, but there's a good variety.
It's all tied to the heroes in game, though. There's nobody else besides.
There's
not a Deckard Cain.
Yeah,
no,
right.
Not yet, but it's definitely something that they could do, and I don't see them shying away from doing that. So, for those of you who haven't read up on loot chests and want to just break it down a little bit real quick, you get chests from doing stuff in game, or not doing stuff in game, but playing games and getting your XP out of that, and leveling up your account and heroes. It's very similar to the Overwatch loot box system, where 4 items come out of these chests. Although there's different types actually now, where they're guaranteed to have an item rarity type in them. So there's like an epic loot chest that you can get, and you're going to get an epic item guaranteed out of that. There's also, very similar to how Hearthstone and Overwatch are set up, there is I forget the exact term of it, but if you open up chests for long enough, you're going to get guaranteed a legendary item after a certain amount of time.
It's like a bad luck protection.
Yeah,
thing.
The bad luck protection. That's what it is. The other big thing I think, which is interesting, is they've added a pretty interesting gold sink into the game, where if you open a chest and you do not like the items in it, you can re-roll the chest up to 3 times, I believe, for increased gold. Currently on the PTR, it's 250, 500, 1,000 gold. So you're going to spend 1,750 if you roll it 3 times, and you can only re-roll it 3 times. Then you're stuck with whatever items you get.
Yeah.
And if you have duplicates, they get sharded, and you can use the shards to craft items as well. Gems are going to be introduced as well into the system, and they're going to be the real money currency that you pay to get. And I forget what all is.
It's just like every other microtransaction game where you buy their currency and you use that currency to buy in-game stuff. Most of the, like if it costs $7 right now, it's going to cost $7 or less of gems. The thing is, like, you can't just specifically buy $7 of gems all the time. But they do have things like if you buy $10 of gems, you get a little bit bonus. If you buy $20 of gems, you get a bunch of bonus and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so gems, they will be able to actually be earned through certain things in game, but I don't think it's going to be a huge significant amount. I know it.
Yeah,
you're
not getting tons.
Yeah, at a certain player level, it's like a really early on player level. You get 1,000 gems, which is a decent amount. And you're able to, and every player who's like at least like player level 10 is probably going to get that, I think, from the transition. So that'll be interesting. I'm okay with this system just because like people are going to be able to craft the specific things that they want. But I know a lot of people have had a negative reaction to this, and I'm curious of your thoughts on just this whole new system in general with loot chests and all these new items that are being brought into the game, and if we think that's a good thing for the health of the game going forward, or it's kind of just distracting from the core gameplay.
I think it's really cool. I think people will get excited about the loot chests, and like introducing all these little, cosmetic things allows them to give you so many loot chests, and it's so much like, hey, I get immediately rewarded for playing this game, and hey, if I get another level, I get another loot chest, and just kind of drives people onwards, which is always great. The one gripe I have with the system is the fact that skins are not always going to be available. It's like a rotation in the store. So like if I just want to buy the Deputy Valhalla or whatever it is skin, I have to wait until it's available or hope I get it in a chest. So like, loot boxes are RNG, but it's kind of like, maybe you buy a cheap loot box and you get a legendary skin or whatever, or just like, oh, I got this for free, which is kind of nice. But the fact that I just can't actually buy a Vala skin if I want to buy a Vala skin I don't really like that. But I think the rest of the changes are really good.
Yeah, and the interesting thing going forward is now each skin tint is going to be its own skin. I find that I mean,
I find
I
that
guess
weird.
it's okay. I find it a little weird. Obviously, if you have bought the skin already, I believe you're going to get every tint
Yeah,
unlocked.
you get all 3 tints.
So
Yeah.
you're not going to have to worry about that as far as backwards compatibility. But yeah, I mean, there's so many items now in the game. It's insane. I mean, when Blizzard was talking about it at the summit, they, especially the emojis, they were like, "Hey, artists, we want to do these emojis," and they just hit the ground running with them, and that's why there's so many of them.
So, how do
Go
you
for it.
use the emojis?
They're in the chat client. So, like, I don't know if you've seen them in StarCraft, but they recently added them to StarCraft, where they're in anywhere you can chat, you can use them. In game, you can use them as well. They have little short codes that you can use, similar to Twitch emotes, kind of.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a little smiley face. Like when you press enter, there's a little smiley face to the left of the chat box, and you click that and you select whatever emote you want.
Jimmy, is there video at the summit of you messing up like an emote 4 times? Like at the last one?
Dying.
Right.
Not that I'm aware of.
Ancestral.
I should be getting that video in the next few weeks, though. If I'll have to see if I did anything really silly or not.
For real, though, that is a bit... I don't think those should be in-game, but that's just me. I feel like it just promotes people doing stuff that isn't the game when you can chat in-game and spam emotes when you're dead or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, it's kind of... In a high volume Twitch chat, it's kind of distracting sometimes when it's just like flying by. So somebody doing
Chat's
an
moving
entire
so fast, no one will know I'm gay.
right, stuff like that. But like in Heroes, how big are the emojis? How much of the screen do they take up? Can you like just fill an entire section?
Well, it's like the where the chat is. So when you're typing out in game to your teammates, it's just there.
And there's a limit. You can't like chat more than twice in a row, I think.
Okay.
There's a little cooldown that already exists, and I'm sure will remain.
I mean, what Balrog fan? I know we've been talking in the Facebook group about this. I'm curious what you think of the loot chest system overall and the new progression, Heroes 2.0.
I mean, I think it's fine. It's cool to have progression points and look for things to kind of like strive for as a goal. The customization stuff, I get why they did it. Either way, it doesn't really do anything for me, like personally, but that's just not something I go crazy for. I'm kind of the mind like Carl, where like there's a small group of people like myself who they're just gonna lose money on because I'm never gonna buy loot chest. I never feel the need to like roll the dice on something that's cosmetic. Like, if I'm playing Hearthstone, when I buy packs, it's different. Like, I might need cards, and then once I have the cards I need, I'm done buying stuff. Well, I don't need any of this stuff, so... I mean, I never needed skins before, obviously, but if something was on sale or I just thought it was cool, I'd be like, okay, I'm going to buy that. I'm not going to, like, buy chances to maybe get that now, you know? So, a lot of people like that model. It's wildly successful in like mobile games with the microtransactions, and obviously it's worked in Overwatch as well, so there's no reason why they shouldn't do this financially. I think it's something that ultimately doesn't really do anything for the gameplay itself, so I don't have much of an interest in it.
Okay, that's understandable.
I'd like to make a side comment, kind of unrelated, but might be relevant after 2.0 drops. There's four slots left on the hero UI.
Oh.
The hero select. Now we hit this point before where we thought that there might be a hero select UI change. However, we were proven wrong on that. Though we're hitting close to, I think, 69, 70 heroes at that point once this fills out. I would like to see a style change for the UI. What do you guys think?
In what way?
Just
Like,
how it's laid out?
Yeah, how it's laid out. Maybe change it up a little bit even. Do something completely different. Maybe have the hero on the left side and then the heroes listed on the right side. There's lots of things you could do to change up how the information on the hero select screen is presented to you. So,
well, I agree with you. Actually, I think when you start crossing into that 100 hero range and stuff, you're going to need a different UI. I just think if they were going to do it, they'd roll it out. They would have rolled it out with 2.0.
Yeah.
I think we're likely to just get like a little page over thing.
Yeah, I would assume there's a scroll bar. And it might
page.
consolidate it all to just like one side of the screen, so you're not scrolling like a 2-column list around your hero.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they could, but I doubt.
Okay,
So,
that was the only question.
Yeah.
That was the only theoretical I had to toss out there for right now.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think it'd be cool, but I definitely think that if they were going to do it, they would have rolled it out with 7.2 when everything's changing, you know?
Yeah.
So one thing, I don't know if you were going to hit this later, but master skins are no longer master skins. They're just it's a rare skin, rare quality, as far as how often you'll get it in a loot chest and what it'll cost if you buy it or whatever. So you could be like a level 3 Murky with a master skin. It'll still exist, so if you have your Master Diablo or whatever, you'll get it with all 3/10. But instead, they're doing this little icon over your head, right? It's like an emote, or
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
Let me make sure that wasn't a April Fool's Day joke.
Very well could have been.
Carol, are you reporting fake news again?
No,
I could be
no.
reporting fake news. I was pretty sure it was legit though, because they wanted to do something to show
yeah,
hero
here it
mastery.
is. Mastery taunts.
Yeah, the taunts, and like their argument was, everybody loves the idea of a master skin, but like nobody actually uses them, right? I see Willie on a lot of Chen skins that aren't Master Chen, and I've got like.
Because War Master is awesome.
Yeah, and like if you got Jaina, she has like 6 other really good skins, and Master's still good too. But I like rotate between all of them, and Master follows good, but so is Angelic and the Deputy and all this stuff. So like, you get to choose between picking the skin you really like and that you paid for with real money, or showing off that hey, I'm good at this hero. And so the new system is like, all right, pick the skin you want, which could still be the Master skin if you like that. And also, but you don't have to, and we can still give you a way to display. So, do y'all think this taunt idea fits the bill and is valuable and you'll use it a lot, or is it you'd miss the master skins or what?
I really like it. I don't think it'll satisfy people who are unhappy about the master skin going forward, but I really like it. I think it's cool.
I'm okay with the idea that the taunt is kind of the replacement for the master skin at this point. Before I was kind of bummed about it, just because it was kind of a status, I guess. Mm-hmm. But they've put something almost kind of better in there.
This is like the ultimate B step.
Yeah. Also, I want to note, you brought up Chen and his skins, in which I have all of them. But in 2.0, they added a new Chen skin, and I'm kind of chafed about it. Because the only thing different on that new Chen skin is he has his hat on. It's the normal Chen skin, except for he's wearing his hat. And I'm a little chafed about that. Like, really, guys? Really? Was that... What's going on? Did you guys lose some creativity on Chen? Is this how much you loathe the panda at this point? Like, you guys have ignored him for weeks, for months now at this point, since the rework. Like, he needs... Whatever. Move on. Let's talk about Cassia.
Well, before we move on to Cassia real quick, Primeval Diablo also got revealed. The Primeval Diablo skin.
I'm re-rolling until...
Barrock fan, what do you think of that?
It looks really cool, but when I was watching it, I'm like, man, I'm going to miss Chunky Diablo. So... I'll probably still pick old Diablo. I've gotten really used to Chunky Diablo. I like it.
There we go.
That was the only Diablo I wanted since I got into Heroes. I was like, where's Primeval?
It's got that super creepy voice line, too.
Oh, God. The one with Leah in it?
Yes.
Oh, I love that one. Like, that's just that's who Primeval Diablo is.
The one word I have with the Primeval Diablo is they can't change the hitbox, but that means the hitbox is not going to look like the skin.
It's true.
Yeah.
So this,
But,
like,
even-
honestly, this skin is, if Blizzard is legitimate, this skin should be banned from competitive.
That's fair.
It's probably true.
But like they even had the Primeval Diablo in that trailer, and then you
Yeah,
don't
they
give
did.
it to me,
The HOTS reveal trailer had
Yeah.
Diablo.
Oh my
which is a
gosh.
sick trailer.
Yeah, that is true. I totally forgot about that. That trailer was freaking awesome.
Seeing like Nova versus
Yeah.
Diablo. Come on, Nova blowing kisses to the Lord of all Terror. Like really? Let's go. I'm in there.
Definitely.
But yeah, like it's the one skin I wanted, and I will re-roll until I get that skin. I don't care how much gold I waste.
Oh my goodness.
I've got 44,000 gold right now. I will burn.
And like
You're gonna
40
burn through
chests.
Yeah.
I think I'm getting close to 60 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
So
Oh yeah, since we're talking about loot chests real quickly, before we move on to our newest hero, they did announce that they're actually going to be including veteran boxes for players in this. These are only for legacy players that have already played. Every 100 levels, you will get a veteran loot chest to a maximum of 10. So if you somehow have 1,000 total hero level,
Yeah.
that'll be good for you.
There's no benefit to hitting 1100.
But basically, it just guarantees one legendary item per chest, and this will be all for those first bunch of chests that everyone's going to be getting that's been playing for a long enough time that they have a bunch of hero levels. I think I'm at like 400 something player levels, so I should be getting at least 4 of these. And then epic loot chest every 10 player levels up to a maximum of 55. And if you've completed at least one heroes match, you get 5 loot chests. So if you've never played Heroes and you're watching or listening to a Heroes podcast, play a game before 2.0 comes out.
Yeah. Yeah, it's cool. I think there were 2 complaints when the system released, like 2 widespread complaints. It was Master Skins are gone, and then they released the taunt system, which for me fixed the problem. Not everybody was satisfied with it. And then there was the loot box reward wasn't enough, and so they added these unique items for veterans. So which is good. I understand why they can't just give the veterans like 400 loot chests at the start. Like,
Can you
that's just, I'm going to
imagine-
give away all of the content we have
Yeah,
and make
that-
players sit there for 3 hours when they first log into HOTS in order to open all their chests.
Jeez. That sounds awful. But yeah, that's 2.0. All the new progression stuff, new loot boxes, loot chests. Why do they name them different between their games? That's what I want to know. Same with...
So that they can claim they're not exactly copying Overwatch. There's a slight distinction.
It's true.
what's the point? Like what does it matter? It's the same company.
Yeah, I don't
It
know.
works
I
in
know.
Overwatch. It will
They
work.
didn't call it Hextech Crafting, so there really shouldn't be a problem.
See, this is the problem is when I talk about like Overwatch, is I call them they're heroics, but they're called ultimates in Overwatch and not heroics like they are in Heroes.
I just
So it
call the
gets very
heroes one
confusing.
ults.
Yeah, there you go. Well, you don't have to go through a style guide of how to call things out.
Yeah, I haven't done
in
official
Heroes
Blizzard
of the
casting.
Storm. But yeah, we have Cassia is actually live today in Heroes of the Storm on live servers. You don't have to wait till 2.0 to play the Amazon from Diablo 2. She is really awesome and a really unique hero. I remember when they announced her at the media summit. I was pretty surprised by her trait. So basically, she's a pretty hard counter to auto attack heroes. While she's moving unmounted, she gains, I believe it's 55 armor.
65.
65. Okay, but yeah, it's a lot of armor. I think that's the most armor any hero can get, just like at a base level, I believe. But she is a ranged assassin. Does quite a bit of damage, and a lot of her ability to do damage is based on the target being blinded. So a lot of compositions, I'm theory crafting because I haven't really played too much of her in a competitive setting per se, but pairing her up with heroes like Johanna, with Lily is going to be really solid going forward, I believe. And the two heroics, I mean, there's arguments for both of them. Valkyrie allows you to isolate a target and bring it towards your team, and the lightning ball is probably one of the funner things to watch, especially if you take the level 20 talent, which allows it to bounce infinitely. And Howbow put up a video of him hitting it like 37 times, I think.
Yeah, it was a ridiculous amount.
It was silly.
Here's the one like gripe I have with the heroic is like you can hit 37 bounces and the whole team isn't dead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like the normal 6 bounces don't feel like they. It's just like from when I was looking at the videos, like they just don't look like they do that much damage. And I feel like the ult just kind of tuned around the fact that they wanted the super level 20 talent, so that it wasn't absurdly busted. But like, I don't know. I haven't seen damage numbers. She could be fine. But from just a feel perspective, that ult
60 seconds.
feels weak.
The cooldown 60 seconds on her ball lightning ult, Charlie. But really, if we're talking about level 20 talents, I think everyone's going to end up going for Titan's Revenge. Just because her basic attacks ignore armor, which kind of makes her incredibly effective against certain tanks now at this point.
Yeah, there's a lot of tanks with armor.
Yeah. And then she gets a basic attack range increased by 2. So that's absurd. Yeah, that's a hefty amount of range for her now. So
yeah,
but it's kind of the only problem I have with that is I would rather see her get an attack speed buff rather than a range increase, because her blinds, she has to kind of get a little close to people to drop blinds onto people.
Yeah.
So
and her range is actually pretty short for a ranged assassin until you said that level 20 talent can really really do some damage.
Yeah. Like I think, and I don't think she has an executioner or anything like that. Yes, she does. Disabled heroes take additional damage.
That's right.
So stunned, slowed, rooted, they take a lot more damage. And she does actually put out a surprising amount of damage, especially if you get a good fend off and stuff like that. She's got surprisingly good self-sustain if you go Ring at the Leech at 4, where damaging blinded targets heals you. So you get a lot of health back off of a good fend. Auto attacks heal you. You get 25% of the damage she deals to blinded enemies, which on top of if you chain blind people and she's able to stay in range, then she can get a lot of health back. Like, she's got really decent talents across the board.
From the way you're describing a lot of these talents on the playstyle, that seems likely with her. It almost sounds like Valkyrie's an easy pick at that point then. Because if you can draw the...
Go ahead.
What?
Go ahead, sorry.
If you can draw the tank in, I mean, the tank's going to be the one out a little bit. So post 20, when you draw him to the team and you can pierce armor and you have extra range...
Yeah,
it's going to be
you can also
shield means nothing to her. That's so absurd.
Yeah. On the other hand, you can pre-cleanse her and she can dive in and pull that stupid hammer no one's been able to get a hold of all the game. And then, chain stun from there. Uther stun, Muradin stun, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's better heroes to... I mean, I guess she's good anti-auto attack, but there's probably better heroes to deal with a hammer, but she's not the worst.
She can't really dive. I mean, she doesn't have really any escapes. So it'll be interesting to see how she would work. I mean, you're banking a lot on Valkyrie then at that point, and just based on what I saw from some of the other players at the Media Summit event, Valkyrie was pretty tough to land.
Yeah.
I don't
But
think I can agree
she'll
with
still
that.
probably be good against like Volaticus, Rainer, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
blinding those guys is always hot.
She completely shuts down Tracer.
Nice.
It's like Tracer literally does nothing to her. It's pretty sad.
Well, you measure
You're right.
65% of like 8 damage per auto attack.
Mm-hmm. But yeah,
Yeah,
Cassia will
Roots
be
though
interesting.
are just gonna wreck her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Ruiner is going to be really good. But I'm excited for the new hero. I'm excited that she's already out. I was expecting another week or so, but that was a nice little surprise today.
Well, we know what the next we know when the next hero is going to drop too, thanks to that handy little 2.0 timeline.
Yeah, the 2.0 timeline was at the 18th, the same day as 2.0, I believe.
Is that drop or reveal? I can't.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
It'll probably be a drop.
Reveal.
Cassia,
No, it'll be a reveal, I think, and then probably the 25th.
Because if it drops,
because the next hero does drop on the 18th, that would be 2 weeks from today.
They've never dropped a hero
2 weeks. Yeah.
Out.
Yeah, they have.
No.
They've had some 2-week heroes. We're talking like 2 years
hero
ago.
Release.
May 4th.
Oh wait, that's today.
No, today's
not.
March 4th.
April 4th. Yeah.
April, yeah.
No, it's
whatever.
not even March.
You got me all messed up.
Yeah, so a month from today is a new hero release. And on the 17th, there's a new hero revealed.
17th of April.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, then
So there's like a 2-week
remember.
wait period between the hero reveal and the release.
That's actually kind of
I can see
surprising
that.
to me.
Yeah.
Because that kind of breaks from the 3-week schedule they've been so consistent on.
I mean, they said 3 to 4,
3 to 4, yeah.
and it's been over a year, right?
Yeah.
So the developers did say they'd eventually slow down once they start feeling like most of the archetypes are filled out and they have a good roster, which we're approaching. You know.
I suppose. There
Yeah,
still
no,
needs to be
I-
more supports.
There's been a lot of change though. Like it's a lot to keep up with, so
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind it slowing down a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. Speaking of changes, we haven't really touched on ETC, but he's kind of just been very, very solidly in this meta past few months. Is getting some pretty significant changes with the patch that was released today on live. This is something we actually caught a little bit of with the build that we played at the summit, was we saw that his trait got changed. But in addition to that, we'll talk about that in just a sec, but health is being reduced pretty significantly. I think a little over 300 less health starting out. And Rockstar, the trait is getting changed. Instead of basic attack speeds being given to nearby allies, it grants 20 armor for 2 seconds when he uses a basic or heroic ability. Doesn't stack, but now gives more survivability to his team.
It doesn't
Yeah.
say team though.
It's
Rockstar
just him.
now grants ETC.
Yeah. As far as I
Oh.
can tell, it's
Okay, you're right.
It's not an aura.
Yeah.
But-
Okay, I'm
Oh,
wrong.
so they didn't even roll Block Party into his kit. It's just he just gets 20 armor. If it had been a team effect, then okay, that's fine. I actually don't have that big of a problem with it. Now I'm kind of leery about picking him. I mean, he's still going to be an amazing crowd control tank, but I don't think he's main tank status anymore. I think he's more off tank.
No. I don't know.
You just
Yeah, I wouldn't say
Your main
off
tank's not
tank.
defined by how well you buff other people. Your main tank has initiation and a big health pool, and ETC is still going to have that.
he doesn't have nearly as big of a health pool anymore.
Yeah,
Like,
but he's
I
going to
think-
consistently have 20 armor.
So it almost counteracts itself.
I mean, like,
Is
you're
it
gonna-
physical armor?
No, it's just armor.
It's just straight
Just
armor.
armor.
So you're
So
going to slide in and probably bounce immediately, so you kind of lose some effectiveness for that. So there will be some downtime where you don't have the armor, and like it'll kind of hurt. But you know, he doesn't have any of the traits you want in an off tank, which namely being high damage.
What they wanted to turn him into was from this basically dynamic tank who offered a lot into kind of a safe pick tank, which they did. ETC's still pretty good, I think, because he's still going to do everything he usually does, just he no longer gives his allies attack speed, which was something that was being maximized on a small level, and it was an advantage, but it wasn't really an advantage, something that all around of a tank needed, I would imagine. Like, he shouldn't buff your assassins for being, while also being, you know, a top tier tank.
No, I agree with that. That'll be interesting going forward, though. I'm curious to see how he'll play in the meta. And I'm actually curious if this is the patch we're going to be playing at HEC next week, or if we're going to be playing on the patch before this.
I don't remember how they did that.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
Did they stagger or not?
They staggered a little bit.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna mention something that I just noticed. Correct me if I'm wrong. Echo Pedal is kind of a consistent pick, isn't it? I don't play that much ET. Yeah. Okay, so they dropped the damage on it from 29 to 9.
It's definitely a pick if you go stage dive. But anyways, continue.
No, you just exactly said what I was about to say. It looks like with taking Echo Pedal, they're almost encouraging a split push ETC build because of that gigantic damage bonus to minions and mercenaries.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that was really necessary, because honestly, from what I was watching, I mean, Mosh Pit is kind of the go-to, but Stage Dive saw its fair share of picks. So
it wasn't like people aren't taking Stage Dive. We need to give it to. We need to buff it. But it was more like people are picking Stage Dive and not being effective when they split push. Right? Because if you have your ETC split pushing, your main tank is not with the team. Which is like, you know, it's kind of like, what do we do if they force an engage on us? Or like, there's a 2-second cast time on it where you just don't have an ETC, and so there's a bigger drawback to that than say your Illidan split pushing or a Zagara or whatever, because like you still got damage sources without those two. It's like, all right, so let's make them a little bit more effective to trade off for the fact that you have a tank, which I think is fair.
Yeah, I mean, him being able to clear the waves out quicker will help.
He's not like an oppressive split pusher. You know, if you send somebody down to duel him, ETC doesn't win duels.
No.
You know, he doesn't die to them, but he doesn't like crush anybody.
Right, he doesn't force people off their spot.
Pretty much. But yeah, that was basically it for changes. A lot of bug fixes and stuff, little changes here and there. Just quickly mention, Butcher now can tell the team how much stacks of fresh meat he has. I guess that was a thing that people were asking for.
So would you say this is a quality of life change?
Yes.
Take your shot.
Oh my goodness.
I don't want to play Butcher because people are going to be making "show me your meat" jokes in chat.
I can't wait for the emotes that say "show me your meat."
What's your meat stack, man? Show me your meat.
Show me your meat.
How's your meat stack up against mine? Let's show each other our meat.
Guys, this Butcher has tiny meat. Kick him.
Oh man, but
my girlfriend only dates men with huge meat stacks. I'm sorry.
Oh man,
I'm so sorry. You can edit that out if you want.
No, that's staying.
I just took that line to its logical conclusion.
There we go.
He drug it there, kicking and screaming to its logical conclusion.
Something else being dragged, kicking and screaming to its logical conclusion. It's Heroes of the Dorm.
Hey.
Nice.
Beautiful segue. Love it.
We have LSU in Kentucky facing off in the round of 4, as well as UC Irvine and Why can't I think of their name now? I should have had that up. But I knew I was going to forget their name.
Arlington?
UT Arlington. There we go. But we do have Heroes of the Dorm concluding on Saturday at UNLV. If you are in Las Vegas, go get your tickets. They're like $15 to go check out a live esports event. It's going to be a one-day thing, so the round of 4 games are going to be best of 3, with the grand finals being a best of 5. And you'll get to watch them all on Facebook Live if you're not going to be there in person.
Why would I want to do that?
Sport esports.
Mm-hmm.
Wait,
That's it.
oh man, I can't actually watch these live. Maybe I'll find a VOD somewhere.
Can't?
No, I'm going on a camping trip that weekend.
Oh, okay.
There you have it.
Well, good luck finding the one person who actually watches it on Facebook Live.
I mean, it'll get more viewership because it's the finals.
Round of 8 was actually getting some decent.
Yeah, it's like nobody
numbers.
actually cares about the round of 64 in Dorm. You know?
Mhm.
Because it's like there's no scene built up.
Even
Or
still,
you know these teams. Like, yes, Facebook Live is terrible.
Yes.
And it's probably destroying the views that should be. But there will be a lot more interest in the Final Four and the finals than there is previously.
Mhm.
I've lost interest in the Final Four. Because Indiana lost to UC Irvine. It was a
A&M got knocked out pretty
That
quick.
was, huh?
A&M got knocked out pretty quick.
Because you weren't on the team, Carl.
Yeah, you should have tried out.
You should have. Like, if you're not on A&M's team next year, you'll still be in college then, right?
Yeah, I'll be in grad school.
Yeah. If you're not on that team next year, you're off the show. Like, if we don't hear stories about you trying out for the Heroes of the Dorm team for A&M, boy, we don't want you
I
back.
think if they're an esports club, and I have to get involved with an organization.
So
Too much work.
You have somehow avoided clubs for 4 years.
I mean, I'm in a church group, but other than
That
that,
doesn't count.
That does count. Come on.
No, it doesn't.
Oh yeah,
There is a lot of things to do in a day, Willie. I would not do this myself either. Even if I was good enough to play in esports, I still would not join a club.
There we have it.
Not even for
like,
the
you're gonna go-
glory of the 500 viewers watching me on Facebook Live.
You can't call church a club because you're going to go to church on Sunday anyways. Whether you're at a college or not. That's not a club. That's religion. That's different.
I'm going to stir this back to Here's the Dorm.
yeah.
And just say that my bracket is doing
you,
fairly
Willie.
well. I have 3 of the 4 top 4, and I'm number 2 in the Blizz Pro group. Only second
Red beat
to...
you?
Yes, the robot beat me. If you are going to be actually attending Heroes of the Dorm live, Alebeard will be there. Make sure to say hi to him. Thank him for all the awesome articles he does. Because...
See if you can find a power switch on him somewhere.
Yeah, we joke that he's a robot, but he's an actual human being. So, yeah, make sure you say hi. But my bracket is overall ranked 3,566. And I think this was about where I was last year. And I did hit top 500 to get that free skin. Hoping for it again this year. That just means Arlington and LSU have to play in the finals, and Arlington has to win. Which is kind of the favorite right now, but we'll see going
We need
forward.
the cheerleader Kerrigan skin this year.
Yeah, cheerleader Kerrigan.
Yes, I want that skin so bad.
But we'll see.
I will admit the Indiana and UC Irvine game was really, really good. Like, Indiana came out swinging that first game and almost closed it out the second game, but like anything involving Hoosiers, it ended up being a disappointment in the end.
Oh my goodness. I still remember in the round of 64, UC Irvine lost game number 2 to Carleton on Sky Temple because they pulled that cheesy strat of Medic Rainer Tyrael. You put everyone in the in the medevac. You go to the top fort. You drop everyone down. You kill the top fort because you have sank, and then you die. You don't care if you die. Then you rinse and repeat on the keep. And then they basically baited them out to defend boss and did the same thing on core, and just, they couldn't defend against it. It was really funny. But Yeah, hopefully we won't
Didn't
see
the
any
casters have
cheesy-
like no idea what was coming too?
Yeah, no.
Okay,
You think Halloran would have had an idea of like what was going down?
The same thing happened to me in Heroes Hype though, so I sympathize with them.
Like people are gonna recognize that particular comp now.
Yeah. Going forward, hopefully people recognize that. But before we leave Heroes of the Dorm for this week, obviously I'm rooting for UT Arlington. Who are you guys rooting for, Zextrus?
Nobody.
P-Flame?
I will also root for UT Arlington because I don't count the subsystem schools as part of UT, and because Arlington's pretty close to where I grew up. So
There we go. Balrog fan?
Team Misfit.
Okay, there we go.
Wait, what are we doing? No, I really probably UT Arlington, but I mean, I don't. I've seen like 2 VODs, so.
Okay.
And they were of UT Arlington.
UT Arlington is still 3/5 of Blaze, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, I mean they're
So-
probably gonna win.
Yeah.
We'll see, but you know what the conclusion of Heroes of the Dorm means? Means next week we have HGC back.
The real esports
I'm so excited
Yes!
we're going to have HGC back.
on Twitch.
On Twitch.
Thank
Yes.
God.
But we'll talk more about that next week, just because
Go teammate.
we'll see if any changes have been made, etc. But really quickly though, before we go, we wanted to do a What's Hot on Reddit segment. This is what we talked about a little bit earlier. Lots of discussion we were talking about around master skins going away, and this is a really I think good thread, good conversation about people's concerns with removing the master skins from being something unlocked for you through playing your heroes. I think it was the first comment. Basically at the end they said removing that goal of unlocking these master skins kind of removes their incentive to play, because then you basically having to get these master skins through chance at this point, or crafting them, and like P-Flame had alluded to earlier, you're going to see a level 3 Murky running around with the master skin Murky.
and also level 25 Murky, who hasn't managed to get one out of a chest yet.
Yeah, exactly. So I just wanted to open the floor to discussion on this. Balrog fan, what do you think about this, and the Reddit kind of discussion about this?
Well, I understand where some people were coming from. There are people who, they had master skins like Medivh and the Lost Vikings and Abathur and stuff like that, and people would see them and go, "Oh wow, that's pretty cool. You must know what you're doing to have that master skin. I've never seen this skin before." You know, people telling stories like that, and I can definitely understand that feeling of kind of like people not recognizing that you're a special player with those characters, or you put in a lot of work with that whatever character it is, just by seeing the skin right away. But I mean, if you're good at the game, it's going to show anyways. You can still play, Lost Vikings in the master skin and wow people with your gameplay. They just don't automatically assume that you're good because you could have got it out.
You don't have to play Arthas with even more spikes.
Or Diablo with more spikes, or Dahaka with more
So the
spikes.
Diablo master skin is actually pretty good.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
Arthas one's not really.
Or Abathur
And
with more
really
spikes.
does Arthas need another new skin? He has like 15 skins, I swear.
I mean, Abathur you can't even tell because you never see the enemy Abathur.
Pretty much.
I
And
wonder
everybody, if you're good, you run Pajamathur anyways.
You know what's really insulting is if, like, at level 15, like, they reintroduce master skins somehow, like, in some form at level 15, and that Chen with his hat on is his master skin. I may go find Dustin and actually complain to him in person. Even though he's not even involved with it anymore. He's just the only one I know.
He just hands you Alan's business card and call the police.
I'm gonna try and get one of the devs to hand you that Chen hat skin the second you hit 15.
Oh my gosh.
I'll just like pay him the $10 and say, "Hey, can you do this for me?"
Right. And I'll be like, "Sure, guy."
But on the order of the skins, like, I don't really, like I said, and I touched on it earlier. The master taunts are in, and I'm oddly okay with that. It's still it's still a status symbol, just in a more aggravating form.
Yep.
Yeah.
This kind of thing exists in League, and they'll flash them after they make a sick play. They'll flash them when they're a corpse on the ground. I don't know if you can flash them as a corpse in this game, but that's
We'll
my
find
favorite
out
way to use
soon.
it. When you jump in 1v3 to make the outplay, get destroyed, flash your mastery.
Okay, so I'm totally derailing this though, but you remind me, Flame. Did I hear right that League is going to be having a 2-player hero?
No.
Okay.
It's a duo hero released, and they're separate. It's ADC support, which is like they lane together, and some of their abilities play off each other. And like the back, if one of them is backing and the other one runs up, you can join them in the back, and you get to base like as they do.
Oh.
So if you join them in the last like half second of their recall, you get a half-second recall, which is kind of cool.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I was just curious if they were chogalling it up or not.
They're not actually Cho'Gall. They're as close as League is ever gonna get to Cho'Gall.
Okay.
It's more Wonder Twins.
So it does this new characters to support.
There's a support and an ADC.
It's 2 separate heroes that play well with each other.
Yeah.
More
But
so
one of
they're
them-
Both
meant
their
to lane
W's have a
together.
buff when used on the other one.
Well,
And
I'm
then
just
there's the
really
recall
glad
thing.
that League finally included Wisp into their game, because that's pretty much what Wisp from Dota does, is blinks
Yeah.
people everywhere.
Yep.
Blinks them forward, blinks them back, can take people with them. Wisp is fun to grief people with.
But I'm
Like,
just
go
to
ahead.
make sure that I'm understanding this other thing properly. You can play one hero without the other.
Yeah, you can play Soraka with the new ADC, or you can play Jinx with the new support, or whatever. It doesn't matter. They're better with each other because of the cool recall thing, because of a little bit of synergies. Like the support has like a dash to an ally and give them a shield, and it has a higher range on their paired character than
Well,
normal.
if you just really like the support and you're good with them, you can
Yeah,
still
you
solo.
can still
and
play
then
the
like
support with
someone
anybody.
you queue in with somebody who's playing the other, and you're like, hey, cool.
Yeah.
And then he
So
calls you curse words and says,
yeah.
says
So you
really
don't.
hurtful
It's not like
things.
if you lock the
Very
one
personal.
ADC and your support doesn't have the new one, then you're just screwed. Or
right.
whatever.
That's a cool concept.
It's cool. I haven't been playing a bunch of League recently, but I might pick up the new ADC since that's what I main, and it seems like a cool concept. Anyways,
the
back
one
to
last-
here's the Storm Power Hour.
Yeah, the one last thing about that, some people feel they should be like refunded the gold they spent on Master Skin. I don't
You're
know.
not.
get the
You're
master
not.
skin.
No, you're not losing the skin.
That's
They
just
want the
dumb.
money back for the. Yeah, I don't. Very convoluted.
I hope you weren't one of those people, Charlie, but that's just dumb.
Yeah, no, I don't agree with that at all. Well, that initially when I first read the thread, I'm like, oh, so Master Skins are going away forever. Okay, that kind of sucks.
Yeah.
But like then I realized I'm like, wait, they're not going away forever. You still get to
Yeah.
keep them.
They still exist. You
So-
just can't. You don't earn them the same way.
The amount of complaining that was happening within the thread almost scared me into thinking I was
Yeah.
getting Master Skins.
I don't blame you because this sounded like the world was ending.
Yeah,
But
it's fine.
Yeah.
I would want gold back.
I don't
still
think the veteran loot chest thing was necessary. Like, it's nice. I'm glad it happened. But like getting 50, 60 loot chests was still going to be a great reward. That
Oh yeah.
So I thought all people whining about that was dumb. The master skin thing had some merit to it because like this is a thing you agreed to give us based on merit, and now you're taking it away.
Hmm.
Whereas loot boxes are just like, here's suddenly free stuff. Well, thanks.
Yeah.
I mean, realistically, they could just be like, you know what? Screw you guys. We're resetting all your accounts for this new system. We're not even going to try to port your stuff over.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, that would kill the game, but
they can do what they want.
they could basically do what they want. They're putting a lot of work in, and I'm actually slightly terrified that the transition is going to go horribly. But we'll see.
The one thing is like, I have Proteus. I'm not playing them right now because I want the 5 easy loot boxes or whatever when 2.0 hits.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like I was going to be a Proteus main anyways.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not that big a deal. But
Yeah.
No, I agree. But yeah, I think that's going to wrap it up for episode 98 of the Hero's Power. We're going to hop on. I think we're going to just play the Brawl, which has been really fun this week. If you'd like to join us, make sure to join the Blizz Pro channel in the Heroes of the Storm client. And we'll see you there in a little bit. Also, patreon.com/heroespower is still going on. If you'd like to help support the show and the assorted costs with running the show, we really appreciate it. And there's also some really cool rewards we're giving away. So make sure to check out patreon.com/heroespower for all the details. And then if you're wanting more information about Heroes of the Storm, you can always check out heroesofthestorm.blizzpro.com. All the patch notes are there. All the details about the game, hero builds, etc. are all there. So make sure to check it out. And always check out the other fine shows on the BlizzPro network at youtube.com/BlizzPro, where you can see all the archives of this show, as well as West March Workshop, which is our Diablo 3 podcast. It's airing Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Pacific. Thursdays at 7 p.m. Pacific is Payload Podcast for Overwatch. Sundays at 7 p.m. Pacific, although I think they've moved to Mondays now. I'm not entirely sure. But Well Met, the Hearthstone show. That's an exciting show to be listening to right now with the new expansion rolling out soon, as well as Arcane Analysis for World of Warcraft. They release that in audio format only, so make sure to check out blizzpro.com for those episodes. And if you're going to join us for After Hours Games, make sure to join us on discord.blizzpro.com. And any final thoughts before we send it off to our post-show games? Zextras, you're muted. Rip.
I like turtles.
P-Flame G.
what makes the teamwork bundle the teamwork bundle? I don't understand it.
I don't know either. I looked at it earlier and I didn't understand it.
Like, it's
What is
Arthas,
it? It's
Jaina,
Arthas,
Rexar,
Lost
Falstad,
Vikings?
and Vikings. The base one is Arthas, Jaina, Vikings, and if you have the ultimate bundle, you add in Falstad and Rexar with a couple of their skins, and they're not even like similarly themed skins. I don't understand it at all. It's not a full team comp because you don't have a healer, and Arthas is your only tank, and you have Vikings, but I don't understand. I'm tilted.
I don't either. Oh man, does that tilt you more than playing Quick Match?
I think it does. I think I have to stop staring at this bundle.
Anyways, Valor fan, how about you before we send it off to our post-show games?
Okay, so when you're in the tutorial mode and you're dying in the Nexus, and Uther's explaining it to Raynor, and he says everybody who dies comes back here in the Nexus to fight, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So how come Murky gets to, like, ignore that? Like, powerful beings in the Warcraft universe and Starcraft universe all have to adhere to this, but Murky gets to create himself from eggs, and it doesn't seem fair. Is he
Because
stronger
Murky-
than we thought?
Yes, that is. Murky is secretly a god. He is the god of the Nexus.
He's actually an old god.
Yeah.
Okay, Ashley explained it in chat. Arthas has his dragon, Jaina has a water elemental, Rexar has Misha, Falstad has his bird, and the Vikings are a trio. So they're all like multi heroes.
No, I reject that explanation.
That makes sense for your teamwork thing, but mine's still a mystery.
Yours is still a mystery.
It is.
Oh, one more question.
Nothing.
What happens to those
Yeah.
porches that require level 10?
You have those still. Oh,
The what?
Oh, they're at 15 now.
Are they?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that'll be something to earn and show off, I guess. But there's a ton of new.
No, I
portraits
mean
as
like
well.
Get Malfurion, Tyrande, and Illidan. Are they also shifted to 15?
Like those collection
I
portraits.
don't know. I believe so, but we'll see. I'd have to look at the PTR, and I'm not loading that up right now.
That's fair.
Anyways,
All right.
let's go to our post-show games. This has been episode 98 of the Heroes Power. Thank you guys for checking us out, and we will see you in the Nexus and next week. Stay tight.
Bye.